Welcome back to another episode of Me Lo Merezco. Today we have a special episode, a different type of episode. I'm going to be doing a solo episode where I talk about the 3 lessons I've learned this past half a year now, since we're already in August, at least at the time I'm recording this. And I'm going to be talking about the lessons, insights, mostly the reflections I've made from May, June, and July, but January, February, March, and April are kind of like the events that happen. May is like kind of like the trigger of the changes that are gonna happening, or the reflections that I'm gonna be making in June, May, June, July, and then a bit of August. So let's get started. Hopefully you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and comment below if you relate to any of the things I'm gonna be talking about, or you have any questions, or you wanna have a deeper conversation in the comments below. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, don't forget to subscribe as well. I think they have the little bells now, and leave us a review to support the podcast and for it to keep growing. Awesome. So the first one is related to time, and the phrase "this too shall pass" is something I've been thinking about a lot recently. To give you a bit of like the big moments that I'm thinking about is on May, I and my now ex-boyfriend ended our relationship, and a whole year relationship. So you could just imagine, from like one day we're dating, the next day I am single, and this is my first breakup, so I don't know how to process it. It's new moments, or a new event that, or a grief that I've never had to encounter. So that was a big change, and that's when I started to think more about time. Like, wow, a whole year relationship, and then it's like, bam, now it's over, and now I have to be single, and then like just not be with that person no more. He's not gonna be part of my life no more. Even as much as I would love to be friends, it's like it's not gonna be the same. And so that's one big event where time really started. I started thinking more about time. The second one was me going to Mexico. So literally the day I found out, or the last time I saw my now ex-boyfriend, I found out I was going to Mexico. And that was probably the first week of May, and then 5 days later, May 16, I believe it was, I was in Mexico. So I didn't really have much time to process it, and then like process that I was going to Mexico, and I was already in Mexico. It wasn't like, oh, you have time to like figure things out. It was like, no, I have to buy my plane ticket, I gotta get my stuff, and now I'm in Mexico, and now I'm with my family. So that was a big event. And so that's like another thing about time, is like I've been waiting for years now to wanting to go to Mexico, because if you guys don't know, I'm undocumented. I do have DACA, so it gives me permission to work in the United States, but I can't travel outside of the United States. So with Advance Pro is the permission that they give you in order for you to travel outside, but it comes with 3 main things, which I won't get into. And so that was another thing about time, like I've been wanting this, and now it's happening. And then under like specific circumstances as well, like emotional ones, where like I'm dealing with a breakup, and now I have to go to Mexico. And so like that's kind of like, and the second time I thought about time. And then the third one was when I had to come back to Mexico. I had to come back to the United States, and it's like I had these amazing moments. I had this amazing conversations with my family. I was able to party. I was able to go to El Antero for the first time, and then for the first time with my cousins, where all of them went out. So it's like creating all those memories. And then now I have to go back to the United States and kind of go back into reality, because in a sense I was like, this was just the moments that weren't gonna happen all the time. So that's when I started thinking about time again, because it's like wow, I was in Mexico, now I'm not in Mexico, and now I have to go back to work and continue working more on the podcast, stuff like that. And that was really also like a time where I started working a bit more on myself, but I had those really great moments, and I had really bad moments, like emotional ones. And so that like those moments also made me think about time, like this too shall pass, because when I was the first week of my breakup, I felt like I was going crazy. I thought, and that's the whole reason I saw him again after the breakup. But then me reflecting to it is like wow, I was feeling like shit, and now like I have these good moments. I feel bad sometimes, but I'm okay, and so that's really why the phrase "this too shall pass" is in my head a lot, because I understand that whatever emotion, good or bad, I'm feeling, it's gonna pass. So it's better to either enjoy, like be present in the moment and have so much gratitude, and to, when you're feeling like really down, it's like either feel it and acknowledge it, or distract yourself, try to do something else, like watch a movie, go out for a walk, exercise, whatever it is, to distract yourself from that emotion. And then you could either come back to it or just like let it go, right? And so that it's a process that I've been trying to I guess understand, where there's gonna be good days, there's gonna be bad days, and that's okay. And even in one single day, there's gonna be like, most of my mornings have been great, and then it's in the afternoon where like my head's hurting, and then I don't have much energy, and I just want to sleep. But then I go, sometimes, because not all the time, sometimes I go for a walk, and it's like, okay, that made me feel better, or I'm gonna drink more water, or I eat a meal where it gives me a bit more energy. Not all the time. This is something I'm still trying to figure out. But I know that if I work on it, and if I'm aware of the situation, this too shall pass. In the sense that my headache, I'm not gonna have headaches no more, or my head's not gonna feel the way it feels. And at some point, if I work on it, it's gonna be gone. And the same thing with everything else. And this, like, this concept of time, where like this too shall pass, has given me also a motivator, or has given me motivation to keep on working on the things that I want to do. Because if I keep working on the things that I want to do, it's going to create a result that I want, and it's going to allow me to create more memories and the feelings that I want to keep feeling, right? And this kind of like leads us to the second point, or the second insight lesson that I learned, and that's like dealing with guilt where because I had just broken up and I had amazing moments in Mexico. Although there were times, I'm not gonna say that I didn't feel bad, because there were times where I was crying at night, but I didn't let myself dwell into that so much. I acknowledged it. I cried the time that the times I needed to cry, and then I continued on with my day. I remember like, I'm grateful for this relationship, because this is things I learned, this and that. And these are the moments that I have with him that I'm going to always cherish, like this and that, So I'm not going to dwell like, oh my God, I'm never going to see him again, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I had these amazing memories. And if I ever do want to talk to him, like, we ended up good. Like, we ended the relationship good. So if I ever need anything from him, like a favor or advice or whatever, I know I can count on him. So it's not a bad thing. And understanding the reason why we broke up, and being okay, like we weren't going into the direction, we both weren't going to the direction, or we didn't have the same mission in life, where we weren't compatible enough for us to stay together. So it happened for a reason, right? And so dealing with that guilt of like me feeling good, even though I'm supposed to be processing the breakup, was a guilt where I shouldn't be feeling sad, right? So that's something I had to deal with. And just being, and also like the good moments that did happen in being in the United, like coming back from Mexico too. Like, I had really good moments where I was dancing more in parties. I was having better conversations with my family, with my mom, with my aunts, where before I would just really be more reserved, and knowing like, oh, they don't really care about these topics, so why mention them? But more recently, I've had more conversations where I talk about like personal development, and I was like, oh, what did you think about this or this? And then just enjoying the moments more. Going out with my friends, I've tried like Korean barbecue. I've tried this amazing pizza. We went out recently to a free concert in Central Park, and then after that I tried these amazing tacos for me, I'm a very picky eater, so finding amazing tacos where I actually finding amazing tacos that I actually enjoy is kind of like a little treasure that I found out of nowhere. So, having all these moments, but then also having like really low, like really bad lows where it's like I don't know, like, oh man, these moments are gone, or also the like going back into that negative mindset, that negative, like those negative thoughts is also something I had to deal with and redirect. Like I had to be really, really, really aware of that and not going back. Because even like recently, like like literally yesterday, at the time I'm recording this, I felt really, really bad because I don't even know why, to be honest. Like it was just mostly like the headaches really make me get into this really bad mood, and it gets into that loop of, or that spiral effect of going into the negativity. But because I'm now a bit more aware, it's like, okay, what can I do? So I ended up taking a nap, which is mostly me sleeping for like 3 hours. And that really, really helped me out a lot. And it's like, okay, like there's times where I'm going to need a break, especially since I've been waking up early. It's like, I need to kind of get used to it. And if I need to go to sleep, that doesn't mean I'm pretty much prioritizing myself and my health. And it's better for me to go to sleep than to be in a bad mood and be defensive towards people who want to have a conversation with me, right? So it was really a lot about that, dealing with the guilt of feeling good when I think I'm supposed to be feeling bad, and then feeling bad when I am feeling bad, because it creates that spiral effect, if that makes sense. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is manifestation, and pretty much believing that I can co-create the life that I want with like the universe or God, however you want to label it. I think like because like the moments that happened, and like being able to go to Mexico, having these amazing experiences with my friends, like trying new things, new events, new moments, creating me being able to go to New Jersey and like being able to have more vulnerable conversations with my friends on what they're working on, what they're struggling with, and then trying to help each other out was for me, it was an amazing conversation because it's not something that we often have. And being able to be more, I want to say like compassionate with each other, or like more understanding, you could say, where like, oh wow, I didn't know you were dealing with this, and it's like, if you need anything or if I could help you with anything, like let me know. Like being more having more trust in our relationship, even though we've been friends for years. I think it's really hard for us to have those conversations. So it was really nice being able to open up and say, oh, this is what I'm dealing with, and like, and just putting it out there, and then them being able to reciprocate that too. So that was really nice. Like those moments I really enjoyed. And then like with my family, like I've been able to dance. Like I love dancing. I usually dance in my room. And usually when I'm in parties, I at least before, I used to be really reserved. And a quick like little story is that at my mom's birthday, it was, we live in Connecticut, so we have to travel to New York if we want to go see my aunts, my aunts and my aunt's family, right? And so we ended up going there. It's like, oh, let's hang out with family, because that's one of my goals. Like, let's hang out with family, create more moments together, because you never know what could happen in the future. So we ended up going, and one of my aunts was working, and then the other one was, my other aunt was there. So we just like cooked, but then I saw like the energy felt kind of low, and that sometimes like bothers me, because I tend to like kind of like kind of like portray the energy that the other person gives me, or of the energy of the environment. I think that's something I've noticed. So I was like, no, I did not come here to just sit down and like watch a movie or whatever and eat, and then that's it. Like this is supposed to be like for us to connect and have fun. So I started putting music. I started putting bachata, and I started dancing by myself, like literally just like moving, like just going side to side, and that's it. And in front of everybody, like not like, I want to say there was probably like 5 people like my parents, my aunt, other cousin family members, you say. So let's say like 5-6 people were there, and I just started dancing right there with everybody there. And then because of that, it kind of started like, oh, let's dance cumbia, because that's what my family, at least my dad knows how to dance. So I was like, let's play cumbia, and then you teach me how to dance. And that's literally what we did for about an hour and 2 hours, something like, because it was already in the afternoon. So we were just dancing, and I created those moments. I started bonding with my dad, because it's also, I need to work on the relationship with my dad where we have a better relationship, pretty much. So that really helped out. It was like we were dancing, and I was like trying to figure out the steps, and all of that. So it was like fun, and it was a learning experience, and it was a bonding time. And then like my aunt would also dance. My mom would get involved. My mom would start dancing with my dad. And it created this ripple effect of like all of us connecting and having fun. And so that's like a moment I cherished, because I didn't let the energy of the room pretty much influence how I wanted to feel. I chose to react a certain way, and because of that, I had amazing results, or I had an amazing moment with my family. And then after that, like, we ended up going to buy like is it called mangoneada or mangonada, something like that, where it's like a mango slushy with chamoy and tahini, which is delicious. And like buying some other stuff, and then coming back, and it's like now we could like relax, now we could be like chill, but we had that amazing moment, if that makes sense. So all to say is that I've been co-creating these amazing moments, and because of that, and also with the podcast, I've had amazing conversations where I feel really good after like having those conversations, where it's like it motivates me to want to continue the podcast and have these conversations with these amazing individuals. And so all of this kind of like boosts my self-esteem, boosts my confidence, and it allows me to believe that changes can happen, that whatever I think is not possible can be possible. Like me hitting 1,000 subscribers is possible. Me traveling to another state and living there for a month or two is possible. Me having an amazing emergency fund, amazing like, big chunk of money in my emergency funds, or how like my security fund, that all of that is possible. Me just feeling really good, not all the time, but like creating these amazing moments with my family. It doesn't have to be big moments. It's also small moments. Like I know I can create, I can manifest it, I can create it. I choose to react a certain way that allows me to enjoy those moments, all of that. And I think because of these three things, like using time as a motivator, being okay with the emotions that I feel, because understanding that it's going to fluctuate, and then believing in myself more, where now I have more confidence, where I could take more initiative, or I could work on a project, even if I'm scared or not, like having that courage, where we talk about, where episode's going to come out talking a bit about this, where I'm going to have more courage on doing the things that scare me, right? And a quick example I could give is like 2-3 weeks ago, I ended up going to this organization where I want to give personal finance classes, at least like the basic stuff that I know, because if I could help somebody that's maybe like a step behind from me, then like so be it. Like I'll feel fulfilled. So that situation is something I've been wanting to do for maybe 2-3 months, and then I was like, what the heck, I'm just gonna do it. And I walk dogs in the afternoon, so after that I went to the place, and during the drive there I was like, okay, I could say this and that, but I didn't overthink it too much. And then going there, I just like rang the bell, whatever, and it was just literally like a 2 to 3 minute conversation, and that was it. They're like, oh yeah, we'll call you, blah blah blah, if we're interested, blah blah, whatever. They never called me back, and I should probably call back. But just that moment in itself was where, like, if I could go to this place, then I could go to other organizations that will actually maybe appreciate more my volunteering my time to teach something that many individuals need and may not even know about, where they could have a one-on-one, you could say coach, or what would it be, like consultant, or just giving the basic information out there that many people don't know. So it really, really, really boosted my confidence. And like these moments really, it gave me a better appreciation of life. And that's what keeps me motivated to continue all of this. I continue like living more intentionally, giving more gratitude, continuing with a podcast, where I know I can help, or we can help each other grow more, and seeing like, wow, these transformations can happen, these changes can happen, like all these things I'm so scared to do, it's actually not that bad. And once I do it, I'm gonna start co-creating and being more aligned with myself and who I am. And because of that, I'm gonna attract more into my life. So I think that's the cool part. That's the cool part of all these things. And at the end of the day, I'm still learning. I'm still like, it's not like I have like, just because I know these things doesn't mean I'm like, oh wow, everything's gonna be great. No, like again, I've had these bad days. Like I think it was last week, I was like crying for the first time after like 2 months. So we're still gonna have those down, like those low days, those down days, but we're also gonna have amazing moments. And if we could just, I guess it goes with manifesting, visualizing and remembering and feeling how we want to feel in the future. Like you're already feeling it, so once you're there, like it's just gonna expand more, you could say. So I don't know, I'm just excited, and I just want to share these 3 things because maybe this helps you give a different perspective, or maybe I'm missing something and y'all can help me out and leave it in the comments below. Or if you relate to this, or you had like an insight, or you had an aha moment when I said this, when I said any of what I said, or if you didn't understand something, like or I didn't explain it properly, or like what do you mean with this, whatever, like leave it in the comments below, and maybe I'll do like little stories on my Instagram, or make videos to answer your questions. And yeah, this is what I've been learning this now 7 months, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in the next 4 months of this year. The changes that I'm gonna be making. I've been exercising more consistently. I've been waking up early. I've been studying for this thing that I joined that I don't want to say yet, just because I'm still like trying to process that. But yeah, I've just been more consistent on like the foundational work, you could say. There's this book that I completely recommend. It's Discover Your Destiny by Robin Sharman, I believe. And he talks about the 4 awakenings. And the 4 awakenings is your mind, your body, your spiritual, and your emotions. And working on each category every day, or almost or every other day, whatever it is, like you like exercising, meditation, walking, being more aware of your emotions, reading books about emotions, how to manage your emotions better, how to identify your emotions better. Working on all these areas is going to create a balanced thing, because if you're just exercising but then you're not working on your mind, then it's going to create an unbalance. So because I feel like I've been working on all 4, I could see the results a bit better. And that's not to say like all the 2-3 years that I had on like learning about personal development and reading about books, like it's all now clicking faster, and I'm taking action. And that's another thing I didn't do as much when I was reading the books and listening to the podcast. I'm now taking more action, and taking consistent action, where I'm seeing the results quicker, and that's motivating, because it's like, okay, like now what can I do? What do I need to work on? And what's that specific action that I could do every day, so that it could create a habit, and then keep on stacking them. And that's another book I recommend, is Atomic Habits. That really helps you build that foundational framework on how to build better habits. And yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited. Share. I feel like I'm asking too many questions, or like for you to share too much. But comment if the insights that you had on when you were reflecting on these 6-7 months of the year, and then coming back to this video like 4 months, a year later, and like sharing like, oh shit, like I did this and that, because I put in the work, So it's a lot of mindset stuff that we really got to work on, and then that creates like a byproduct, or the results of the actions that or creates a ripple effect on the actions that we take, and then creates a product on the results that we get, if that makes sense. But with that being said, these are the three things I learned: time, dealing with guilt, and manifestation. Pretty much believing more in myself, and knowing that there's so many possibilities out there that can happen for me. So I'm excited to keep co-creating my life and making the life that I want into a reality. And yeah, and if you don't think you deserve the changes, the habits, starting a business, wherever it is, know that you deserve it. One, and keep telling yourself every single day, like, merezco esto, merezco this, and that. Merezco an amazing life. I merezco gozar mi vida más. Merezco comer comida deliciosa. Merezco viajar. Merezco, like, all these things where, because thought work is kind of like repetition, you start believing it. Even though it's not like there, or even doing the opposite, like start taking action, so that, or simultaneously start taking action, so you start believing, like, oh, because I did this and my thought is aligned, then it's true, you know. So it's a lot of mindset work, a lot of action, taking actions. It's not just think, it's also act. So it's just a lot. Maybe I could talk about this in another podcast episode, the things that I've learned, or I have some ideas that I have. So I'll stop talking. I'll stop talking for now. So just know que te lo mereces, and just keep repeating that to yourself. And yeah, just the second thing I'll ask from the questions I asked all my guests, I'll ask myself that is amazing moments is going to Mexico, my mom's birthday, New Jersey with my friends, hanging out with my friends in the concert, when we went to the concert, because I was able to meet a new artist. Shout out to Conexión Divina, which I love all your songs, and I hope I can have you in a podcast at some point. And my accountability partner, waking up early, exercising, finding out about jump rope, or all these like small things you could say are really the big moments that have happened in my life. And yeah, going to New York, a 3-hour conversation I had with my brother, which was amazing. We don't really have conversations like that, or we don't, like, that's another relationship I'm trying to, my relationship with my brothers is something I'm trying to how do you say, like, crecer, or have a better relationship with them, or improve with my brothers, my family, all of them, but especially like those with who I live. So having that 3-hour conversation with my brother was awesome. And yeah, I think those are the main ones. Creating stories in my Instagram, just being okay with like shooting it once or twice, and then like just posting it. Like, maybe I should turn them into reels, I don't know, but I'm doing that, and I'm trying to do that every single day. So definitely go check out my stories if you haven't done so. And with that being said, thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this episode, to this special, different episode. And I hopefully also comment down below if you want to share, if you want something like this. I'm probably going to be doing it anyways, just to kind of see the transformation and the mindset that we're at during when time keeps passing by, and the changes and again, transformation that we start doing. With that being said, thank you so much again. Don't forget to leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and turn on those notification bell. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment with all the questions that I asked you. And yeah, with that being said, thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.